What's going on, everyone? I'm Carlos, and this is Steven.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, another long-distance review with my partner in crime, Redolessence. Today, we're going to be talking about a fragrance from Xerjoff called Golden Green. So stay tuned.
Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Brooklyn Fragrance Lover.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. As always, I really do appreciate it, and so does Steven. And we hope that you're having a great day and all things are looking up for you. If this is your first time finding BFL, I would love if you subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell icon so you don't miss notifications on future content that I will upload in the future. And definitely go show some love at Redolessence.
Thank you.
The fragrance we are speaking of today is this beauty right here. This is Golden Green from Xerjoff. It's from the Coffee Break collection. There have been several Golden Dollar and some others I don't recall all their names because I don't remember what I ate for breakfast. So Golden Dollar is one that I remember. The line is a tribute to the ancient coffee trade around the world, Middle East and Europe, and that's what they're all based on. This particular fragrance is based around green coffee beans, something which I've never personally heard of. Have you?
No, I haven't, at least not in a perfume.
Yeah, or even as a drink. But this contains notes of pink pepper, cardamom, juniper berries, incense, cedarwood, and strong vetiver. I will spray it for you. For me, this is absolutely and unequivocally a green fragrance. The vetiver is strong. The cardamom adds spice. It's very, very nice. The only thing that I don't really smell the coffee all that much, but it's really green and it's really, really different. I don't recall anything offhand that it immediately reminds me of. I can tell it's a Xerjoff and definitely in their style, and it's potent, it's long lasting, and definitely a Xerjoff. What are your thoughts, my brother?
That's right. I think this one is very good. And like you said, I think when it comes to a lot of the other fragrances within this specific collection, Golden Mocha, Golden Dala, all of them are very unique. And they all utilize coffee in such an interesting and novel way. And it's a way that one hasn't really experienced the note of coffee. I think oftentimes it's this very sort of freshly brewed pot of black coffee, sort of a coffee note. A lot of times it almost goes into like this hazelnut macchiato vibe. And here I like how, yes, there is that green element, like you mentioned. There's that cardamom in the opening, which I really enjoy and I appreciate. And it almost, the coffee in combination with the cardamom almost reminds me of this one variety of coffee that I would make, and it's Turkish coffee. And it actually has cardamom in it. And I make it right on the stovetop. And it's such a... I have made it for you in the past. That's right. I don't know if you've enjoyed it or not.
It was different. It was a little much for my personal taste, but I can definitely see the correlation of what you're saying.
Absolutely. So even when it comes down to the coffee trade, I see where they're going with it. And I see how that cardamom in the opening definitely influences the vetiver that's used in the dry down. And it's sort of a stoic vetiver. I'm not sure which direction it's going in. It's not overly dirty or rough, but it's also not super squeaky clean or anything like that. It's like the perfect partnership. I think if there's one fragrance that I would compare this to, I would probably liken it to something like a Leighton Exclusive. And the only reason I say that is because that fragrance also has notes like coffee and pink pepper, but it also has this spicy, smoky agarwood thing going on in the opening. Surely Golden Green does not contain agarwood, but it kind of puts me in that same mindset. But all in all, I do find this to be a very unique fragrance, very different. It stands out on its, on its own two legs. And I like that different approach when it comes to the use of the note of coffee. I think it's very interesting.
So no agarwood here. There's incense. I don't know that it's a very smoky incense. It's just kind of intermingled into the notes. I find the fragrance overall to be a sparkling green, not sparkling like fizzy or anything like that, but it's just so green. Like, where is the Oz, like the public road to Oz? Remember when the green, this has a completely green aura about it, like the land of Oz or wherever the wizard lived.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of times I guess when people say green, it's nebulous, so you think of oak moss, you think of fir, you think of pine, you think of cypress, you think of patchouli, you think of all these ingredients. But in the case of this, it's mostly that robust, spiced cardamom in the opening that also has an airy quality about it, and that vetiver. And so it's green, but not in an expected sort of old world way, but in an unconventional way that I think the House of Xerjoff does very, very well.
I am not a vetiver fan typically, but ironically, the last two videos that we shot together are vetiver dominant fragrances. It depends on how it's used. There is such a thing as green cardamom too, which that's not what they specify on their website. The notes that I read are from the website and indeed are what the notes are. And but I like how it's used in this particular fragrance, and it might be a green cardamom. And so green, let's go green.
If anything, it certainly contributes to the name, but I really enjoy this fragrance. And I think it's the type of fragrance that I see myself wearing when it gets a little bit colder out there, when there's a little bit of a bite in the wind. I think if you're wearing this in the hot summer, I think maybe the vetiver would be the only saving grace, because like I said, it's not an overly rough and tumble vetiver, but there's just something about whenever I smell spices, I always liken it to something that I would wear in the autumn. So I see myself waiting a couple months to wear this one. I think it would really fit that bill.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys, those are our thoughts on Xerjoff Golden Green. Short and sweet, like we always do. Well, he's never short and sweet. When he's with me, he's got to roll in a short and sweet kind of way. So
absolutely.
That's that. We hope you enjoyed. If you've tried the fragrance, definitely let us know in the comment section below. We'd love to start a conversation. And take care of yourself, stay positive, stay healthy, stay blessed, and we will see you at the next video.
Bye.